Today, man, we gonna be reviewing this little video right here, man. I really don't be liking how this dude be giving it up for our community and those around.
That's another sign of inferiority.
What's that?
You vote for those who are going to do the most for black people.
Right.
Right? If black people are so superior, why can't they do most for themselves?
He said, if black people are so superior, why we can't do most for ourselves? Do you understand the pain, the loss, the suffering? Do you even understand all the trauma that we've been through as black people? Our identity stolen, our families ripped apart, our economic situation, our military. We have been stripped of everything. That's why we can't do nothing for ourselves. It's bigger than what people are touching. They're barely touching the surface. It goes way deeper than that.
My father's older than you, and he tells me stories about, how he grew up and he worked on a plantation. And he did say, he got along with,
I don't care. I was there.
He was there before you.
Well, you see how he just cut him off. He just said, I don't care, I was there. But this dude is clearly telling him that his father is older than him and that he was on the plantation too. But you see what I don't care. Like, man, your attitude is just all over the place.
White people got along way
better
than they do today.
What?
Because the white people are sick of the black people. Everybody.
You said sick of dogs on them?
He said the white people are sick of black people. They've been sick of us since the beginning of their little ruling. If you look at everything, it's not all white people that's like that. But it's a large majority of people that took advantage of us.
I said that white people and black people got along way better than they are today.
You said the water hoses?
I said that white people are...
He said white people got along way better than they did today. Do you understand what was going on back in the day? We were getting chased down, lynched. Our woman was getting raped. We couldn't walk on the same sidewalk. We had several major setbacks. And that's why we are currently in the situation that we are in today.
So the blacks complaining.
You said the lynchings?
So what though?
The lynchings?
Did you know that there were, I think, something like 4,000 blacks who own slaves?
4,000 blacks who own slaves?
They keep trying to say that it was 4,000 black people. It don't matter how many black people own slaves. It still wasn't right. Just because black people own slaves, that don't make it right.
In Kentucky or one of those areas.
What source is that? No, what's your source?
One of my hosts talked about it the other day on the show. But you didn't know that.
No, what's the source?
He said one of my hosts talked about it. One of your hosts. That's not even valid. That's he say, she say.
A little black supremacy book. You didn't look that up.
No. What source is that?
Let's do this. We'll
That's a lie.
Put it up there.
You ever heard of the book by James Lowe, The Lies My History Teacher Told Me? That would be in it. That's a lie.
Why don't black people just kind of move on with their lives?
He said, why don't black people move on? That don't even, this is very assaulting. Why would we move along after so much pain? If you do a crime to a person right now and take one of their loved ones and do what they did to us back in the day, it will be hard for a person to move on. How will we forget about so much pain, so much of our history that was stolen? Brother, you're not making sense, man.
and stop this mess that they're into. If they're superior, why don't they somehow or another let their little superior stuff kick in and stop blaming and living in the past?
Because every time we let our superior stuff kick in, it's somebody at the top passing laws, putting people in place, blocking us from getting to a position to better ourselves. It's so many roadblocks and hidden roadblocks that's in the road that it's impossible for us to cross the road.
Nothing to do with them, by the way. Living in the past and blaming the whites and others. At what point will they say, you know what? We had enough complaining, being victims, and talking about this mess. Let's show everybody what we.
So why would people that are victimized just forget that they are victims? Ain't there a victim awareness program? And they promote victims, right? Well, there's a whole lot of victims in the United States.
And why don't they forget about the past and live in the present?
Well, the past affects.
We are living. We can't forget about the past, because the past carries on to the present, because it's the same people doing the same stuff, but they're doing it more smarter, more clever. That's why. Smart guy?
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Not if you don't live in it.
There's no way to get around it. It does.
Yes, there's a way to get around it.
The past is still in the present.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Only in your mind.
No. And
he said only it's in your mind. This is how you know that he's under the oath to go against the people. It's just plain and simple.
15 in Miami, Florida, they were shooting at, in a police department, they were shooting at black civilians' pictures, mugshots, at a police department.
When was this?
In 2015, in Miami, Florida. 2015?
What year is it now?
That's 8 years ago.
What year is it right now?
2023.
But what's the purpose of living in the past?
So yesterday is the past.
What's the purpose of living in yesterday?
You have to know your history in order for history not to repeat itself.
You see, he being sarcastic now. He's asking what's the purpose of living in the past? What's the purpose of yesterday? That don't even make sense, man. It's just like, man, what is going on?
And to improve yourself.
That's not true.
That is true.
Knowing your history doesn't.
That is true. You can go off the past of your mistakes and think about some situations in the past that can better your future, for you don't make them same mistakes that you made in the past. What are you talking about, dude? How are you sitting on this white couch with that bald head sounding like this?
Is what making things worse. So if black people know they've been talking about this mess for years, right? Knowing their history, why are they still repeating the same thing over and over again?
They don't know their history. If you know the history that's in this book.
Exactly. We know pieces and crumbs and little parts of our history. It's still major facts that's hidden that need to be dug up. Simple as that.
You know the history that they want to teach. When we talk about systemic racism, do you know that in 2015...
You believe that racism exists?
Yes.
And what is racism?
He said, do you believe in racism exists? Do you not see the signs? They even have them in books and stuff. Dude, what planet are you living on? Head look like a black avocado.
I'll tell you. So racism is the unfair treatment of one group of people based on their race, or the belief that one group of people...
Exactly.
...is inferior solely based off their race. So
you are racist for believing that black people are superior to others?
For saying that we have superior resilience.
Are you a racist for believing that black people are superior to all other races, you said?
No, I'm not racist.
But you just said that was racism.
No.
I'm done with this dude, man, but y'all get the point. It's going to be another follow-up. This dude right here, man, I don't know who is sponsoring this guy or what's going on, but he's representing all wrong. Stay tuned, more to come.